So if you watched my previous video, you're probably curious as to what this is all about, and if you didn't, you're probably curious as to why you're looking at some game that isn't Call of Duty, when clearly the title of this video has something to do with Call of Duty and nothing to do with whatever this is. Well, this is a game called Homefront, and if you'll notice, there are these things in this game called infantry abilities. The Call of Duty equivalent would be perks. And if you'll notice, they're not divided up into perk 1, 2, and 3, which I kind of consider to be kind of an old and rigid form of perks or whatever. They're divided up in terms of what they're worth. They cost between 1 and 3 points. The total points you're allowed to contribute to your quote-unquote custom class is 5. And this is an idea I thought of before, and I don't mean to like say that I'm somehow smarter than most game developers or anything like that, but I did come up with sort of this in my head originally. I never really planned it out. Well, now I have planned it out, and I would like to introduce an imagining, if you will, or wish list, or what have you, of the next Call of Duty, which could be Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty 8, or really any other first-person shooter that wants to pick up the stick and try something new. And here's the system that I'm proposing, so bear with me. This is what it would look like. Perks are all mixed together and cost different values, as I've said. A custom class would be created by spending points for various attachments, perks, launchers, and equipment. The total points that can be contributed to one class is 7. Perks cost between 1 and 4 points and can be mixed together in any combination as long as you don't exceed 7. Handguns, which will be fast swap, and machine pistols, which will slow swap, are going to be the secondaries. No shotguns and no launchers for secondaries. Your first attachment for each weapon is a freebie. A second attachment would cost 1 point, and a third attachment for either weapon would cost 2 additional points. A launcher, including grenade launchers, can be added for 2 points, but it will take the place of your secondary weapon, and are employed by pressing left on the D-pad. As I said, I hate that launchers take the place of your secondary. I really like having a handgun, and I've never really, I guess, necessarily agreed with that, because it wasn't like that in Call of Duty 4 or World at War, and so that's what I would like to see. And the theory behind this whole shenanigan is to create even more balanced gameplay, because all perks are not created equal. You'll see that written below. All perks are not created equal. Sleight of hand in Black Ops is obviously the best perk too. Overall, not to say the others aren't valid in certain situations. Call of Duty 4, it was UAV, Jammer, Stomping Power, and Juggernaut were pretty much superior to any other perk in Perk 2. And this also adds to customization. Now, this might seem like a bit of rambling and a lot of text, but as you see here, I've tried to sort it out. Now, I'll look at some custom classes here in a minute, but these are how this is how I would divide up the perks. And pause the video if you need to, take a look at them, go ahead and let it marinate in your brain, and start thinking of things you might want to comment on the video. Now, to clarify, you see up in the top left in the 1 point category, Sleight of Hand and Sleight of Hand Pro would be separate, each costing 1 point, which Sleight of Hand Pro would obviously need to be called something different. Bandolier lets you start with max ammo. Hardened is reduced flinch when you're getting shot. Lightweight is regular lightweight and lightweight pro for Modern Warfare 2, no fall damage. Deep impact, better penetration and higher penetration angles, as traditionally has been. Iron lungs, hold your breath longer. Tactical mask, I'm saying, yields both the regular and pro advantages. Ghost, I'm going to say, keeps you off, like when the other team calls it a kill streak that they target you with, say chopper gunner for instance, you would not appear as a red square. Marathon, you know what that is. Scavenger, I'm saying, replenishes your grenades, but may or may not. I'm not sure if I would necessarily count that as replenishing ammo. I think you should only be able to pick up ammo from a gun that has the same type as ammo as the gun you have. Ninja, I'm going to say silent footsteps, silent movement, like dead silence. Steady aim, you know what that is. I'm going to give Hacker regular and Hacker Pro abilities. UAV Jammer, you probably know what that is. Also cold-blooded, also the old Ghost. One-man army, don't freak out when you see that. It won't be used with grenade launchers and danger close together. It can't be. You'll see why here in a minute. Hardline flak jacket. You know what those perks are in the 4 point category. Not trying to waste your time. We're going to move on. Here's what a custom class might look like. And this particular class, if you see in the top right in red text, and the red text numbered below it, those are where your class points are used at. And I highlighted that so that hopefully you can look at this and understand. 7 of 7 class points used. Stopping power costs 4, bandoliers 1, sleight of hands 1, deep impacts 1. And everything else should look, I mean, I think you should look at this and be able to understand what I'm trying to get at. Gonna move on to the next slide. This person chose Scavenger and Hacker instead of a 4-point perk. And pause this if you need to. We're going to go through this. Not trying to waste your time. I think you're probably understanding where I'm getting at by now. MG36, this is kind of what a one-man army class might look like. You see the 3 times flip to side magnifier, and you also see down below where there's red next to each of the lethal, special, and equipment. I'm saying you can contribute 1 point to each of those categories to double the amount of equipment or special grenades or lethal grenades that you have. I'm going to say you can't pick up more claymores. Like, there's no way to get more claymores. And moving on to the next class, this one is highly invested in, frankly, these guns are going to be very good. Submachine gun, suppressor, dual mag, holographic, and then your secondary is a machine pistol with suppressor and extended mag, and you've got an AT4. Great guns, but what do you not have? Perks. You are missing out on perks, and I feel like that is a good way to balance it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And then this last class, you have Overkill and UAV Jammer. I'm considering shotguns as primaries, obviously. However, if you use Overkill, you can use any gun as a secondary. Although this time around, it'll cost you more than half your class points. So bear that in mind. And I think you all get what I've been trying to convey to you as far as the point system goes. I really like the idea. I would like to see it in a first-person shooter. I think the perk system with perk 1, 2, and 3 is very rigid. It's outdated. We need something new and fresh. And I know Infinity Ward isn't making the next game. There's a lot of speculation as to who is. I'm not sure. But that's pretty much all I had to say. And what follows is simply the weapons that I would choose to put in a Modern Warfare 3 or Call of Duty 8 or some other shooter. These are my preferences, and they aren't going to stay up for very long. If you want to look at them, if you're interested, pause the video. And I guess that's all I have. Thank you for watching the video. Please rate and comment. Let me know what you think about this whole thing. Any ideas you have. And if you like this idea, spread it around. Maybe it'll catch on, and if a game developer will actually do this, like Homefront did. That's all I have. Have a nice day.
Warning, vehicle integrity critical.